All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chang Gang podcast. This is episode 51 featuring Johnny, aka Heine1004. Yo, Hein, my guy, thank you so much for being on this podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and not gonna lie, kind of nervous. So, yeah, I'm glad to be here, though. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Really happy to have you here. We're going to learn a lot about you. Guys, on the top right, you can see the panel. On the bottom right, you can see both of our Instagram handles. Feel free to drop a follow. There's 2 podcast commands for this episode and in general. The first one is !podcast. So, in short, I like to talk to my friends on a more personal level to learn about life experiences and whatever they have to say about themselves. So that's why it's my pleasure to hear all my guests talk and speak. Secondly, we have !guest, which is a direct link to Johnny's channel. So he is a fellow Twitch streamer, and he has a VTuber model. So we're gonna learn more about that. Drop him a follow if you haven't already, and let's just get started. Alright, let's talk about a brief introduction. Give a brief introduction and include some of your hobbies and interests.
Hey guys, I'm Hein. I'm a VTuber. Well, kind of, because sometimes I like to show my face. It really depends on how I'm feeling, but most of the time, I'm a VTuber. I am 27, and I have various hobbies from driving to just working, gaming, sleeping, of course. And I guess just content creating because I enjoy producing stuff and like sharing it with everyone. Other than that, yeah, I don't know what else. Or like a brief introduction, to be honest.
All good. Let's talk about your personality. How would you describe yourself?
That's a good question. I am definitely an introverted extrovert, so I'm pretty introverted when meeting people the first time, but once I get to know people, I tend to be more of an extrovert. And I'm pretty sure you've like experienced the beginning where I'm like kind of shy and awkward, and then after that it's just outgoing, you know.
Yeah.
Other than that, I really care about the people that are close to me. So I will reach out to them every now and then, check up on them, and see how they're doing. And I just enjoy the company that I have around me most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good to know. Okay, we're gonna talk about your early beginnings, your childhood. So give us that overview of what you went through since you were a kid, and I'll ask you specific questions afterwards.
All right. Well, I was born in Taiwan on October 14, and I honestly don't have a lot of recollection as to like the earlier days. I like remember bits and pieces like me getting bit by a dog.
Mm.
I don't even remember if it was our dog or if it was just like a stray dog in Taiwan because my grandpa owned a golf course in Taipei, and I remember we had a Dalmatian and a black lab, and the black lab was the one that bit me. And then everything was just so hazy, I don't remember. Other than that, the other thing I remember was me being really sick one time, and I think it was my grandma who was carrying me on her back, and we were looking for a doctor. And next thing I knew, I was just laying in a bed with an IV in my arm. And then, yeah, I don't remember anything that happened after that. I know that my grandparents told me later on down the years that apparently there was like some sort of flu or virus going on, and I happened to catch that, and I ended up in the ER and stuff. Another thing was that the first time I came to the US was when my younger brother was born. So I was like 1.5 years old, and I don't remember much about the first time coming here, but I just remember going back to Taiwan, and I think my brother stayed here in the US, and I lived in Taiwan for, I think, till I was 6 or 7. And definitely one of the things that I remember was that my mom kind of took me somewhere, but I don't remember where. I just remember it was like I was in a dark room. It was at night, and outside the windows was like all the nightlife happening. But from what my grandparents told me was that the reason why my mom took me was because it was a divorce that was going on, and my mom wanted custody of me. In the end, she kind of just left my brother and I. So my brother does not know our mom, but I have like slight memories of her here and there. I know that when my brother finally flew to Taiwan, we were just like chilling one day, and suddenly we got a call, and it was a lady on the phone because I picked up. So I was like, "Oh, are you looking for anyone?" And first thing she said was, "Do you remember me? Do you know who I am?" And of course, my memory isn't that great, so I was like, "No, I don't know who you are." And I just told her, "Hold on, let me give the phone to my grandma." So gave it to her, and turned out that she wanted to see us. So what happened was they made like a dinner plan at one of the shabu shabu places that my grandpa loves to go to. It's like a 5-minute walk from where we used to live. So we went there, and I still didn't know that was our mom, to be honest. So I was just eating, minding my own business and stuff like that. And I think she was trying to strike up conversation with me, but because I wasn't good with strangers, that I was like, I'm just gonna focus on my food. But apparently, my grandparents told me that my brother was looking at our mom, and like it's as if he knew it was her. But I was just there like, let me eat my food.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I don't have any memory of like anything up till like preschool, because I think my brother went back to the States, and I stayed in Taiwan because my grandparents were the ones raising me. So, and they took me to a preschool, and it was like a English type preschool. So I learned English there. And the first time celebrating Halloween was in that preschool. But the funny thing about that is my grandma dressed me up as a witch, even though I was a guy. I was like, okay, why not, I guess. But fun fact, my preschool teacher was the one that gave me my name. So it wasn't my family members. So the name Johnny came from the preschool teacher that taught the class. And then I think from there it was just like blank memories. I don't know what really happened, and the next thing I knew, I came here to California and went to elementary school, and I think I've been in Cali for the majority of my life. I don't remember when I went back to Taiwan to go to school there, but it was like a brief, like, I would say few months, maybe a year. I don't remember, but I remember going back and attending elementary school. I think it was like my first year or something like that. So getting to wear a uniform was pretty fun. But yeah, after that I came back again, and I've been here since then.
Okay. So based on what you said, do you know why your family chose California?
To be honest, I have no idea. Like, they didn't tell me the reason why they wanted to move to California. So I was just like, okay, you know, their choice, so be it.
Who exactly came with you guys to Cali?
It was my dad's side of the family, so it was my dad, uncle, aunt, my grandparents, and then it was me and my brother. But I guess like after moving here, it's only like my dad, my stepmom, my brother, and I. We were the ones left in California. Everyone else is in Taiwan again, so.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So to be clear, you were talking about the last memory that you had with your biological mom, who's still in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, do you only have one brother, younger brother?
Yeah, one younger brother, and I found out, I think like 4 to 5 years ago, that I have a half sister, but I've never talked to her. I don't even know who she is. I just know that she's younger than my brother.
All right. So talk about your relationship with your parents, in this case, your stepmom and your dad, and your brother from before versus now.
I would say the relationship with my parents, it's pretty rocky, to be honest. I don't know how to say it, but it's always like, it's almost as if anything that my brother and I did, it wasn't enough for them, and like we didn't really know what to do to please them, because then they expect so much out of us, but the expectations were set too high, and like they're not Americanized, so they're still very traditional with their mindset. So it's pretty hard to, in a sense, like find a middle ground between the Americanized kids versus the traditional parents, you know? As for my brother, oof, I know it started out pretty bad, because as a kid, I believed, as bad as this sounds, I believed that he was the reason why our biological mom left us. And I believed it until my first year of college. And I was like, wait, that's really wrong of me to think that way. So I ended up apologizing to him in a youth group that we were in. And from there, our bond got a lot better. But nowadays, like present time, I would say I'm not very close with my family due to certain circumstances. We were like constantly butting heads and stuff, so I just kind of like stick to myself. I'm either always in my room or I'm always out because I'd rather be either by myself or with other people than be at home and potentially have another argument start up, you know.
So, what was your thought process like when your father remarried? How old were you at the time?
I think I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade, but there's a funny story to that. So I don't remember if it was like a holiday or anything, but I remember my stepmom coming over and I was trying to get her attention, so I kept calling her. So in Chinese, I would say "ai," which means like auntie or like miss. But I kept calling her that, and then suddenly, I don't know what happened. I just slipped and just called her mom, and I was like, wait. And then from there, I guess I don't know. It's a weird like situation, but yeah, they ended up getting together and getting married, you know. So yeah.
Okay, so you talked about your relationship with your parents and siblings. So, how did they handle discipline?
Oh boy. Discipline was it was something else. So I was one of those kids that were pretty bad, I would say. So anytime there was discipline, it was either them yelling at me getting hit, or just like various forms of punishments, I guess, like no TV, no video games, and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, looking back at it, I just feel like I deserved all that because I was stupid, to be honest. The stuff that I did, it's like, I think about it, I'm thinking, why did I do that? But you know, it it ends up being one of those fun stories to tell down the road. It's like, hey, did you know that your dad was stupid when he was a kid?
Okay, let's talk about the background and diversity of the area you live in now, and from what you could remember how things were like in Taiwan.
So the area I live in is majority Asian. So I think it's like, I would say in the high 80% Asian, and then the rest is like other races. I don't know how many percentage for like each and every one of them, but I just know that it's almost like you walk down the street and you'll see a bunch of Asians. You go to the mall and it's like, wow, I feel like I'm in Asia. Now, if I'm comparing here to Arizona, which I lived for 5 years, it's like a complete opposite.
Hey, welcome here.
Like, I look
How
around, I'm
you
like,
doing? We're just
where are all the
happy
Asians
you're
at?
here. Yeah, he's in
Meanwhile, from where I live versus Taiwan, it almost feels as the same. It's just different, like a diverse amount of Asians here versus Taiwan, because Taiwan, you have the Taiwanese people and the Chinese people, and everything there is just, you know, either Mandarin or Taiwanese. Here it's Mandarin, Cantonese. I feel like it's rare finding Taiwanese people around here speaking Taiwanese, but there are a few. Then you have Vietnamese people, Korean people, and Japanese people, and like other Asians in the area. But I would say majority of the people here are Chinese.
Yeah. Okay. Other than that, how did you spend your time as a kid? Like outside of school before we get into school.
I would say outside of school, I was either always at home or I was at a Chinese school. Because my parents enrolled my brother and I in a Chinese school to basically learn Chinese. And I honestly did not take it seriously because I was just like, I know Chinese. Why do I need to go to Chinese school? So I would just kind of, lack of better term, just fuck around in Chinese school, you know, and just have fun, meet people, talk to them, befriend everyone, stuff like that. Yeah. But that didn't. I'm trying to think. Okay, so Chinese school thing ended around like when I got to middle school, and from middle school I went to like an after school program where we would do homework and in a sense learn what we're learning in school, just like in a sense like a tutoring type of thing. And from there I took it slightly more seriously, but it was like, you know, I'd rather be at home doing what I want to do instead of just being at another after school.
Yeah.
It was until high school where I was placed into PSAT and SAT programs after I was out of class. So I did that, and then I would say around the end of junior year up to my senior year was when I was, in a sense, ditching the after school programs to hang out with my friends. Because then these friends, they were doing parkour and I was getting into that. So, you know, I was just messing around with them, doing parkour here and there, and just having fun at the local library because that's where we would do the stuff at.
Okay, now we're gonna get into school specifically. So, how did you perform academically throughout your life?
Oh boy. I'm just gonna put it out there. I am not a good student. So I graduated high school with a 2.67 GPA because I did not bother trying. I was more, I guess, in a sense, lazy because there's plenty of times where I would not do my homework and just like play video games or just relax. Test wise, I did terribly, unless if it was a subject that I really liked. It was the same in middle school too. Like, to be honest, I don't even know how I managed to graduate high school with the way I was, with the way I was just acting, in a sense, in high school. Because my senior year, I did fail the first semester of English, and I freaked out because I was like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna graduate now. I'm gonna be one of those super seniors. But I did make it up in spring break. So just that whole week, I made up a whole semester of English and I passed that. And that's how I was able to end up graduating from high school.
Were you involved in like sports or clubs and activities other than like parkour?
I was not involved in any sports. though I did want to get into track and field and cross country, but my mom said no because it was going to be bad for my knees in the long run. So she had me try out for the golf team because I played golf since I was a kid and I did take lessons here and there. So she told me to try it out. I went to tryouts and I choked and didn't make it to the team, but it's okay because I ended up going down the tech theater route. So it was my sophomore year that I joined the tech theater crew, and I loved it so much that I just did this tech theater for my junior and senior year.
I see. So what exactly is tech theater? Like, what was your role?
So for tech theater, we're basically the backstage people. So we either build the sets on stage, we build the props, or we can be running lights, sound, or costumes. And I stayed away from the costumes section because I'm really bad with designing clothing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was never in that part. I was either in lights, sounds, or on the stage. For the bigger shows, like the main shows, I would be part of the crew on stage. So moving the sets and changing it, or just changing out whatever props that needed to be taken out. For the smaller like shows for the beginning, like theater kids and stuff like that, I would either run the lights or the sound. And I found that fairly enjoyable because you get to watch a show as you're running the stuff.
Any other clubs and activities?
No, that's pretty much it. Honestly, I was just that tech theater kid that they they gave me a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
They called me Monkey because the person that taught me everything that I knew for junior and senior year. He was the one that was climbing up all the like high places to hang stuff or like do some rigging and things like that. So I ended up being called Monkey because I had to take over that position. So I was climbing up like pretty high places. Like sometimes you'll find me in the attic of the theater trying to hang up something, and it would scare people. Sometimes they would hear something and then they would look up and they're like, "Oh shit, I see someone's face. Like, what the hell?" And I'm just like, "Hey there." Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, tech theater.
Mm.
So with that being said, how would you describe your high school stereotype?
High school stereotype.
Yeah.
Like what people thought of me, or
Mhm.
like
Exactly. Whenever they hear your name or see you, you're known as.
I feel like I was known as like the dumbass monkey, to be honest, because I would do a lot of stupid shit in high school. Like when I was doing parkour on the school grounds, I ended up slamming my back on one of the bars in the hallways, and my friends would laugh at me and stuff like that, and it did leave a mark. It almost looks like a six pack on my back, but other than that, it's like, yeah, dumbass monkey, honestly. And I would have to agree with them because I was a dumbass. You know, I was caught. I was caught on the roof of the theater once during a show, because I was stomping on there or running around, and the people down below were hearing that and they were like, what the hell's going on? So my theater teacher came out and found us up there because it was not only me but like 2 other people, and yeah,
Okay.
that was pretty fun though. Good memories. Yeah.
Okay, so since you mentioned parkour, let's talk about that briefly. So, how'd you get into it, and what memories do you have about it?
Oh boy. How I got into it was because one of my friends who was in middle school at the time was I don't know if he was getting bullied by one of the Asian kids who, I don't even know if he was in an Asian gang, but I'm assuming he was. But yeah, he was getting bullied by the guy, and funny enough, I knew the guy and I was friends with him because of my other friends who were friends with him. So I got to know him, and he was the one that was getting into parkour, and let's just call him V. So V was getting into parkour, and V knew the friends that I now know and consider my IRL still from high school. And he got everyone into parkour, and then from there I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it because it looks cool. And first time trying it, I was nervous because I didn't know if I was gonna get hurt or not. But you know, of course you're gonna get hurt doing parkour. But I I managed to do some stuff that I didn't think I was able to do, and I was like, this is fun. I like the feeling of the thrill and the excitement of actually being able to successfully do these movements. So then from there we would challenge each other. Hey, like, can you jump a certain height? And I would say one of the most memorable moments was when one of my friends, we'll call him Z. Z and I, we had probably the highest hops out of everyone in the friend group. So we would constantly challenge each other, and there was a wall that was up to my chin. So mind you, I'm 5'8", so up to my chin was probably like 5'2" maybe. I don't even know. So we challenge each other, and he cleared it doing a move called a monkey. So with the monkey, you hop and put your hand on like whatever object it is, whether it be a wall or like a railing, and you kind of push yourself off and over the object. So he did that, and I attempted it, and I clipped my foot on the wall as I was going over, and I fell face first, but I stopped myself right in time with my hands, and I kind of just laughed it off. I was like, oh shit, I almost died there, but that was hella fun. I have a lot of like injury stories, to be honest, because it's just so funny to think about. Like how there was a time I failed a front flip on the grass. The grass was like kind of wet, but I still went for it, and I slipped right when I took off. So I flipped over, my head hit the ground, and I basically was in a scorpion position. I don't know if you know what a scorpion is.
Like you're bent the other way?
Yeah.
Your legs to your head? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So that happened to me, and my face skid on the dirt for about, I think, 2 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I did when I got up was just laugh and call my friends and be like, "Hey, yo, I just did a scorpion." My face skid, and they all laughed at me. But I feel like when you get hurt doing something extreme, laughing it off is the best thing that you can do. Because I don't know, it's just funny. Like, oh hey, I got hurt, cool, show it off. I don't know who else does this, but I feel like I'm probably one of the only people that do that. Because when my friends got hurt, they're just like, ah, I'm hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, so talking about other injuries, have you had other severe ones that you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's a few. So when I was in tech theater, we had to pull open like a heavy metal door with a chain. So what happened was it was hella early. So I was kind of like half asleep. I went in there, started pulling on the chain. Didn't realize I was pulling the wrong direction. So I was like, why is the door not opening as I'm pulling it? Next thing I knew, the chain gets caught and my hand slips. So what happened was my left pinky was cut open by the chain and blood was just gushing out, and I just looked at it like, all right. I walked out, tried to find the theater teacher, let him know that I got hurt. And I think the funniest thing is we had a jock like on the football team. He was in tech theater. He saw my bloody pinky and he started panicking and freaking out. And I found that funny because like you would think he would be like, oh, cool. But it was like the complete opposite. I'm like, I'm fine, don't worry. I'm just gonna patch myself up and we're good. The other injury I got when I was in tech theater was I was cutting particle wood, like a particle board with a circular handsaw. The handsaw kind of got caught up in the wood and I didn't know why it was not like moving. So my dumb ass was like, okay, I'm gonna put my hand under the wood and see if I can push it through. But when that happened, I cut my left thumb. It was like a clean cut. And once again, I just stared at it like, okay. And I think the weird thing is, I didn't even feel it. There was no pain or anything. It was just cut. And I'm like, okay. And I remembered what my history teacher told me was that you can use super glue to, like, as a form of a band-aid. And during that time, I was carrying super glue everywhere because honestly, I don't even remember why, but I just had it. So I washed off the cut, put super glue on it, and I was able to continue doing what I was doing. And I guess it's a good thing there's no scar on my thumb because it felt like a pretty deep cut, but not deep enough where you needed stitches. I know after I graduated high school as a first year in college, I visited the theater back in high school, and the teacher asked me to help him out with stuff. So I would be cutting wood for the kids and stuff. And one time I was not wearing safety glasses. I ended up getting a piece of wood stuck in my eye. And I ended up going to an eye doctor and they found it. They used like I think it was like the end of a Q-tip and they pulled it out and it was probably the size of, I would say, a large grain of sand. And And I was like, oh shit, that thing was stuck in my eye. I'm surprised I didn't go blind from that. Yeah, but I think the most major injury I got was from my accident that happened last year. So I was driving up a canyon road to the top where you can see like all the stars, and my friend was driving behind me. What happened was I was going too fast and I took a turn. My car understeered and the wheels hit the gravel, and I ended up flying off a 20 to 50 foot cliff. Luckily, all I got was seatbelt burn. It hurt a lot though, but like that was the only thing I got. And the tow truck driver that went to tow the car back, he said that I was very lucky because if I was going any faster or any slower, I would not be here at all. Because my car ended up teetering off like a cement block at the bottom of the cliff. And he said if I went any slower, the front of the car would hit the block and I would have flipped over. And he said if I went any faster, I would have just straight up hit the bottom. So I was like, thank you for blessing me with another chance to live. So yeah, don't drive fast. Don't do it.
That was recent too.
Yeah, that was last year.
Okay, so other than injuries, have you ever encountered any type of bullying throughout your life?
Bullying. I know I was bullied in Taiwan as a kid. It's because I'm a very gullible person. And not only that, I was always the shortest one. So they would pick on me, and I guess I was like, I don't really care. But at the same time, it was still bullying, you know? I know I did end up bullying one kid in middle school because in middle school there was a group of people that were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I joined in, and I ended up having some of my cards stolen. So it was the 3 Egyptian god cards. This kid stole it, and I ended up confronting him and bullying him, and he transferred to a different school after that. It was like not even a week. He just up and left. So I never saw him again. But I guess the only people I bully now is, well, not even bully, but bully are the people I mod for. So Annie is definitely one of them. I bully her a lot, and it's kind of funny seeing her reactions.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a physical altercation, like a fight?
I've never been in a physical altercation. I know that this is gonna sound really bad, but there was a time where I got into an argument with my dad, and I ended up giving him a jab in his face. They did go to the police station and they wanted to like put a report in, but I don't know if it's on my record saying that I hit him or not. So I'm just like, I don't know. That was the only time. Other than that, it's just like close calls, like people saying, hey, you know, I'm gonna fuck you up and stuff like that. I'm just like, try me. And they just don't do it. So it's always all talk, you know, at the end of the day. But I would say I'm the type person that would avoid any physical altercations as much as possible because there's really no point in getting physical with someone.
Well said. So after high school, what was it like for you?
After high school, it really just felt the same because I went to uni and it wasn't much different. Like I did well in school here and there, but I did end up being in academic probation because during that time I was going through a breakup and my mind was just not there for academics. So I guess I did have a lot more fun in college, meeting a lot more people that's outside of the area that I lived in and stuff like that. So yeah, but it still felt the same as if I was still, in middle school and high school and stuff like that.
How did you choose which school to go to, and what did you major in?
So I applied to a lot of different schools. One of them being, I don't know if this is gonna dox me, but one of them being Cal State LA. I know I wanted to get into Cal State LA under like the law enforcement program and stuff like that, but I also got accepted to Cal Poly Pomona. And funny enough, was my freshman year in high school, I wanted to go into Pomona to join the golf team and stuff like that, but I didn't join the golf team. I ended up choosing Cal Poly because I knew my GPA I graduated with was complete shit. So I decided I'll get in as a tech theater major and transfer my major to another major, which is exactly what I did. Went in and changed my major to a hospitality management major. And then from there, I ended up moving to Arizona, so I didn't finish at Cal Poly.
So why Arizona?
Oh boy. Do you want the long story or do you want the short story?
We have time. You could talk about the long story and
Alright.
explain your experience.
Alrighty, so story time. Back in 2014, I went to KCON in LA. I went with one of my friends and we were just chilling. And when it was time to go into the concert hall, we were kind of confused as what was going on because there was supposed to be a VIP line and a general admission line. So it was hella hectic, and we met up with 3 girls. I did not talk a lot. I was just kind of there, just chilling. My friend was the one that was talking to these 3 girls, and apparently one of them took a liking to me. So from there, she gave me her Facebook, and when I got home, I added her and we started talking, and from there we ended up dating. And she was the one that lives in Arizona. What happened that ended up me moving to Arizona half a year later was I got into an argument with my parents, and it was serious to the point where they kicked me out. So I packed everything, and she actually drove from Arizona down here, picked me up, and I basically drove us back to Arizona, and from there I lived there for, I would say, up until 20. Wait, what was the pandemic? Lockdown was 2019, right?
Like near end or either beginning of 2020.
Okay, so in 2020, on my birthday was when I moved back to California. So it was March 9th of 2015 to October 14th of 2020. That's how long I stayed in Arizona for.
Okay. So, how'd you like it there, though?
There's a lot of pros and cons with Arizona. So Arizona, everything is a lot cheaper than California. Gas prices are $1 cheaper. There's less people compared to California, so traffic isn't as bad. See, I'm the type of guy that can handle heat. So 120-degree heat is okay to me. But the winters, it gets pretty cold because, you know, the desert. Other than that, there's really almost nothing to do out there. Like, yeah, there's nightlife, but you have to be like the party type of person to enjoy the nightlife in Arizona. So most of the time it's just chilling at home if I'm not at work, or just going out and eating, to be honest. Yeah.
Wait, so when did you finish up with school?
I actually never graduated from college. So I left Cal Poly. I transferred to a community college in Arizona and finished up my GEs. And then I transferred to Arizona State University to do online classes because I couldn't find the time to actually go in there due to the work schedule and stuff like that. And then from there, COVID happened, and I just thought, I think I should focus more on working than school. So I haven't finished, and I, in all honesty, don't think I'm going to be finishing school anytime soon.
Okay. So transitioning to another topic, let's go with work experience. So start with the very first job that you've had, and you could briefly talk about what you did and then move on from there if you had other jobs.
All right. The first job that I did was at the local golf course that I played golf at. I started off as a volunteer there, and then I just ended up asking the coach, "Hey, are you guys hiring? Because I would love to work here." And I ended up working at the golf course for 3 months until an unfortunate incident occurred. And that incident basically was, we got robbed, and it's just unfortunate that I was there, the one working and stuff. So the guy came in with his friends and stuff like that, and they bought some golf clubs and stuff. It was a total of, like, I think $1,000 worth of merchandise that they basically took. But apparently his card declined, and this is the moment where the dumbass monkey comes into play, because the guy was like, "Oh, you can use the card swipe machine, and, you know, press these buttons and then they'll work." So I was like, okay. So I listened to him, and yeah, we got jacked. And I found out later on that the entire golf course, like, workers, the employees, they all had a meeting without me because I was in school. And nobody told me that there were people coming in trying to steal any merchandise. So it was like a lack of communication on top of my lack of judgment. And that's why that happened. And so they ended up letting me go because of that. And I think it was also pretty bad because that was around the time where I was going through that breakup. So yeah, just unfortunate. Um I guess I'll just talk about like notable jobs that I enjoyed or didn't enjoy. Um the next job that I got was basically a photographer at a jewelry company. My youth group leader was the one that recommended me, and I got in. And what I basically did was just take pictures of all the jewelry that they had in stock. And I was like, this is fun. And I think the nice thing about that was I had to use my brain to figure out, okay, how is this gonna look nice? What angle do I need to put it in? And stuff like that, or how am I gonna get a shot of a full set? So that was pretty nice. I did end up getting a photographer gig for a cognac company, and I think it was pretty funny because I was underage at that time, so I couldn't legally drink. But the guy that hired me, he gave me 2 shots, I think 2 or 3, and I was like, I don't feel so good. But at the end, I did get paid pretty well for that one. When I moved to Arizona, the first job I got out there was lens crafters, and I worked as a lab technician. So I would be creating the glasses for the customers in the lab in the back, and that was pretty enjoyable. All the coworkers I worked with, they were all very chill, and we all got along and stuff like that. And I worked there for, I would say, like a year and a half before I left, because during that time I was working 2 jobs. It was part-time for lens crafters and full-time for Geek Squad's call center. So I left for the call center, and there's a lot of pros and cons with that. So the pros was I was able to find loopholes for like what I can do while I was on the call. One of them being you can run a scan on the computers, and sometimes these scans take probably like an hour. It takes a while. So that's pretty much what I did while I was sitting at the computer building my Gundam kits and stuff like that. So that was pretty nice. But there was a memorable moment while working there. So one of the customers that called in, she needed help with her computer, and this was during the time where the company gave only 5 people access to customer accounts to make changes, because they were trying to implement a system where certain people could make changes for the customers without having to send them over to another department. So what happened was I dealt with this customer, and she was very, very difficult to deal with. And what happened was I ended up canceling one of her legacy plans because she pissed me off that much.
Oh.
And yeah, it's funny because I left her account open so I can see all the notes, and she kept calling back wondering why her plan was canceled. And because I didn't leave any notes in there, no one knew why it got canceled or who did it. So that was pretty fun. But I did end up leaving the company because apparently there was a lot of underhand, under the table stuff going on where the manager of like the building was stealing money from the company to pay his bills and stuff like that. Yeah, so I left them, and I ended up. I'm just gonna like skip to like a few other jobs. I ended up doing like an on-call type of job. It was for computers and stuff. So one of them was working for Wells Fargo, setting up workstations and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun. Another one was basically a bank in Arizona, and they had me install pin pads for them because that bank didn't have pin pads. I don't know why they didn't have it, but it took them that long just to get it. So I was like, okay. So I helped them install that and made sure that they were working. And there was a time where I had to drive from Phoenix to Sedona, and that's like a 2-hour drive just for a bank. So as a guy that loves driving, I said yes, and I did that. Got a good look at the Red Rocks in Sedona and stuff like that, you know, good views. And then from there, I drive back, and yeah. I would say the company that I worked for when I worked from home during the pandemic, that was a fun company until we got a new manager, and that manager ended up micromanaging everything. And I don't know how people are gonna take this, but I'm the type of person that knows how fast I can finish things. And they had everyone say how much work they were gonna do for the day, and I would tell them, oh, I'm gonna process out 100 invoices, which I do more than 100 in a span of 2 hours. So I would end up just doing so sometimes it would be like I would nap up until the 2 hours before I clock out, and then I would just push out all the invoices, and I would get like 150 to 200 invoices done in that span of 2 hours. But it wasn't until the new manager decided to start micromanaging that I had to basically be up for the entire shift and make sure that I'm pushing out invoices, but I had to do it a lot slower, or else they're going to expect a higher volume from me. So that was all fun until that happened. And then they ended up letting me go because they wanted all the employees to return to the office. And of course I couldn't, because I moved down here to California. So that was a good experience. Well, from there, I ended up working for a Funko Pop shop, and the way I got in was because one of my friends is the girlfriend of a co-owner of the Funko Pop store, and she knew I was looking for a job, so she basically had me come in, do an interview, and yeah, now I work for the Funko Pop store here, and I also work at the warehouse as well. So like the Funko Pop that you you see like right there.
Yeah.
That's from the warehouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got the inside scoop of like what's the new Funko Pops that are gonna come out and stuff too. So any Funko Pop collectors out there, if you want to know, hit me up.
Definitely gonna hit you up about that
Oh
stuff.
hell yeah.
Okay, so out of all your jobs, would you say that there's any other crazy or unique stories that stood out or stands out?
Hmm.
Maybe dealing with people or things going on with coworkers.
Ooh, yeah, there is. So this is a story I like telling people because it's just so random. When I was working for the call center at Geek Squad, there was a person that called in and saying that his TV's not working. So I'm like, you're calling about a TV, but I handle with computers. And he ended up saying, no, it's a TV in a game called Half-Life. And I was like, okay. So I had him tell me what wasn't working, and he said the video on the TV was not working. So what happened was I ended up remoting into his computer. And the first thing I saw on that TV was a porn website. And I was like, bro, what are you doing? Trying to watch porn in a video game when you can do that in real life? But I ended up just pushing it off to the second tier of people that can help him. Because I was like, I don't want to deal with this. This is too weird. Yeah, I think that's the only story that's interesting, to be honest.
Okay, so that was your work experience talk.
Yeah.
Let's transition to more of your social life aspects.
All right.
So, what do you have to say about your partying experience?
All
Talk
right.
about all that detail if you'd like.
So, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I did not do any of that up until last year. I was the type of person that would prefer staying home and, playing video games or building model kits over partying, drinking, and stuff like that. I used to be that type where it's like, if you tried to get me to drink when I didn't want to drink, I would shut you down real hard. And it would be the same with like a lot of other things, from drugs to vaping. But now it's like, you only have one life to live. Try everything once. Whatever, But I would say for me, raving is pretty fun with the right people, because I did go with the wrong group of people and I did not enjoy it. It was like a weird vibe, to be honest. Like, these people, they were very close knit with each other. So if there's someone new that joins in, they wouldn't really try to go out of their way to include the new person. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll never go to another event with them again. But meeting you and everyone else at Countdown, that was a nice, refreshing experience. And that's why I say, raving is pretty fun. Just gotta be careful from time to time, just in case. Don't get your phone stolen. Yeah.
So beforehand, you mentioned that you were totally different. You would kind of shut people down on the spot. how would you actually do that if you, as you said, you shut them down?
Well, I'm normally the DD of like whoever I'm with, so I would let them know I'm not gonna drink because I'm trying to be the responsible person to make sure that whoever that I'm with gets home safely because I'm the one that's driving. And if they would push that on me, I would just let them know, like, hey, I'm not trying to be irresponsible like you. I'm trying to get home safe. I'm trying to get other people home safe. If you want to drink and end up crashing, that's on you. So don't put that shit in my mouth. Step aside and stop trying to force me into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much how I would do it.
I see.
Yeah, just gotta stand your ground, you know?
Yeah. Were you ever into like clubbing too?
No. I went clubbing and it's not fun. Not my thing. Cause I don't know. I just look at the clubbing scene like, what are y'all here for really? Are y'all here for a good time? Or are you all here to hook up? And majority of the time it's the hookup part, so I'm like, I'm good.
Okay.
But if friends want to go, I'll go with them just to have fun, but I'm not gonna go there just to like vibe with people because I don't think there's really a vibe in that environment. It's just get drunk, end up knocking out on the floor, or just one night stand. That's all it is, to be honest. But that's how I see it.
What would you say has been your wildest party or rave story, personally?
I would say when I met up with members of a streamer family that I'm in. I don't want to really like get into detail about that, but it was pretty wild. There was a lot of drinking, and it was a good time. It was a good time. Let's just keep it like that.
Yeah, so streamers go crazy, okay.
Oh yeah, streamers go crazy. And then for raves, definitely Countdown. That was hella fun.
Well, you could explain it to the viewers since not a lot of people were there.
All right. So with Countdown, I did go sober, and it was pretty fun because I was able to feel like I can be myself, you know, because going with the previous group that I went to raves with, they're very judgmental, so I really couldn't be myself because I know I'm a weird person from time to time. Like, I'm that black sheep of the flock, and sometimes I do really weird movements where people are like, "What are you doing?" You know. But being with everyone at Countdown, I felt very what's that word? I guess very open and accepted. So I wasn't like trying to think, hey, you know, what are people gonna think about me and stuff like that. So that was pretty nice. You know, and meeting a lot of new people too. So, you know, getting to meet Vinny, Hung, Duyan, Ryan. I'm probably forgetting everyone else, but yeah. Just meeting everyone and seeing Wilson again, you know. That was hella fun.
Talk about your first time drinking. The experience.
My first time drinking, I remember this. First time drinking was actually when I was in high school. We just finished up the play, and we all went to Denny's to get dinner. And one of my friends, who I called my older brother, he had a bottle of Coke, and I thought it was actually Coke.
Oh.
So he's like, "Hey, you want something?" I was like, "Okay." I drink it, and I was like, "Wait, this is not Coke." And he was like, "Yeah, it's spicy rum." So I was like, "Ooh, this is really good." And I think I took like 2 more sips, and that was good. Like I didn't want to feel anything else after that. I was like, "Okay, I'm good. We can stop now." Yeah, good times, good times.
Wow, so your first time was unexpected.
Yeah, it was. But you know, the unexpected moments are the best moments.
And what kind of drunk type would you say you are?
I'm a random drunk. I'm very random. So the first time I got drunk, I was talking to my family friend's dogs. I was just sitting in a corner, and the dogs were like just next to me, and I was like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? Oh, you're pretty cute, huh? Yeah, you want some pets?" And just like play with them. Other than that, I feel like I can be like the loud, obnoxious drunk, but I don't know. I know the other time I got drunk was on my birthday last year. I'm the sleepy drunk. That's confirmed because I just knock out everywhere. Like even on any stream, I knocked out because I got drunk. So yeah, I'm definitely not an emotional drunk though. I know that for a fact.
Okay, what is your favorite drink and least favorite?
In terms of alcohol,
Yeah.
my favorite is the green grape soju. That is the best. Least favorite, I would say beer. Because I tried beer and I did not like the taste. So I stay away from beer at all costs. Anything else in between, it's like depending on like how it's mixed. Because I'm a hella lightweight. Like half a bottle of soju, I'm gone. So anything heavier than that, you'll probably find me on the ground.
Oh, okay. Now we're gonna talk about some of your interests. So let's get a top 5 selection for movies, animes, and shows. What do you want to start with?
Let's start off with anime.
Okay.
Number 1 being Demon Slayer, as y'all can see. Number 2, I would say, is 86. For those that don't know, 86, it's a mecha anime, and it's really good. You might need some tissues though. Number 3 would be, this is a long one. The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated into another world as an aristocrat. That one's really good. Even though the person that wrote it was the one that created a really sus anime. Number 4 would be Card Captor Sakura. I grew up with that. Absolutely loved it. And number 5 is Digimon.
Alright, nice.
Yeah. Movies wise, This is a good question. I would say movie. I absolutely love Marvel movies. There's definitely not one that I can pinpoint as my favorite Marvel movie, so I guess in general, Marvel, number one.
Okay.
Number two, we do anime movies count as movies still? Or are they
Yeah,
under the
you
anime
can
category?
do that.
Okay. Number two would be the most recent Sword Art Online movie that just came out. That one's really good because you get to see everything in Asuna's perspective, so that is beautiful. Number three would have to be Your Name. Number four, 10 centimeters per second. That one's a really, really good one. If y'all haven't watched it, I highly recommend that. And number five, Star Wars. I love Star Wars, but only episodes 1 through 6. Anything else after that, like the Disney ones, I don't think I can handle that.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the last one?
Shows.
TV shows, okay.
Mhm.
Number one, You. You is really good. Number two, and I just started this one, The Designated Survivor. I watched it with a friend and I was hella hooked on it. Like, he would try talking to me and I was just immersed in the show because it was just that good.
Mhm.
Number three, Lucifer. Can't go wrong with Lucifer Morningstar. Number four, I don't think I have any other. Oh, The Good Doctor. That one is hella interesting. Could be a little gruesome from time to time, but perfect.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much it. I don't really watch a lot of TV shows.
No problem. Okay. Favorite artist and song at the moment?
Let me pull up my Spotify real quick. Favorite artist would have to be Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher is a Korean girl group, and their music is very different from all the other Korean girl groups because they focus more on like the rock aspect of the genre versus pop. I would say my favorite song would still be Deja Vu by Dreamcatcher, because something about that song just hits very different.
Don't think I've
But-
heard that, but hey.
Yeah, it's a really good song. Highly, highly recommend it. But yeah, there's a lot of good artists though. So
So you mentioned earlier that you are also into cars. So what have you done so far with like your cars and what do you like about it?
I didn't do much with my cars. So the only thing I did was put underglow on my car, and I have like interior foot lighting. That's pretty much it. Like, besides like just random stickers here and there on the car. I'm not sure if I will be adding anything more to it, but I think as of now, I like the way it is. Maybe down the line, I might put spoilers on it, and that might be the only thing. But that's probably like something out in the distant future.
Do you have a dream car?
Oh, are we all right for dream car? Are we talking about like something that we can get, or something that is just in general a dream car?
In general.
The Ferrari 458 Italia is my dream car. I absolutely love the way it looks. It's just nice and sleek. Yeah, I've always wanted one, but the only one I can afford is a toy car. So yeah.
Alright, so you didn't really specify this, but because I know, talk about your thoughts on voice acting.
Oh, okay.
What experience do you have, and just your overall thoughts?
I don't have a lot of experience with it. I just do voiceovers for certain things, like animes or, well, yeah, majority of the time it's anime because the way I see it, when you hear it anime in its original Japanese dub,
Mhm.
there's a lot more feeling poured into like the characters versus English dub, where when you listen to that, it's you just know that they're just reading a script. They're not really trying to be the character, unless if you're a Goku or a Gohan from Dragon Ball, because honestly, English dub Dragon Ball is a lot better than Japanese. So, but yeah, I kind of dabble in with that part because I would watch the anime in Japanese and try to figure out how the character is portrayed and figure out their emotions. And then I would do a voiceover in English with those same emotions. And it would, I honestly believe that's a lot better than just having someone just read a script and say, like, for example, R, right? So they look at it in Japanese as ara ara. And the English voice actor would be ara ara. It's like there's a big difference. And if I can eventually become a voice actor, I want to basically understand how the original Japanese voice actor does it and then incorporate it into the English version. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Like, in all honesty, I've always wanted to be a voice actor ever since I was in middle school. But I guess it wasn't up until now that I started doing something to get in on that. Well, not really get in on it, but like put my foot in it for the first time, just a touch.
And since we're on the topic about like voice acting and stuff, what do you have to say about how you present yourself and your voice? You know, online versus in person, and always changing things up.
I like this question. All right, so for a lot of people that don't know me, that haven't met me in real life, my voice behind the mic is a lot different than my voice in real life. So here's the funny thing. Despite my voice being this deep, I can hit high notes in some songs like Maroon 5's Sugar. I can hit that. But the only reason why my voice is low is because I have to keep it down. Right here, this door. This is to my brother's room. Behind my monitor and my setup is my parents' room. So I'm sandwiched in between two rooms. So if I'm streaming or playing video games or just chatting it up with people, I need to keep my voice down. And what I found out was that when I do that, my voice is like this, which is very interesting because I didn't even know that this would be a thing for me. So I am truly blessed to have this voice. At the same time, I wish I can project my voice and still have this this deepness, you know. Yeah. That's why I say I am a catfish online, because VTuber with a deep voice and then meeting me in real life, it's like, wait, that's not you.
Uh-huh.
And then there's also the people that say, you're using a voice changer, right? I'm like, no, this is my voice. There's no voice changer involved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Do you need a quick break before we get into the next topics?
I think I'm good.
You
we
good? Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get into more deep topics, personal topics. Let's
All
talk about your relationship and heartbreak experiences, starting from the first one, whatever you consider as a relationship or whatever you want to talk about. Talk about how you met, what you went through, and then just transition from there.
Oh God. All right. My first relationship was when I was a senior in high school. This is probably gonna be kind of fucked up, but I liked a girl in my class, and I basically got to know her friend, and I asked her, hey, can you help me possibly, get with your friend? And she said, yeah. And what happened was she ended up catching feelings for me. She confessed to me and told me, and I felt bad. So I was like, you know what, I'll go out with you because we've been talking, and you have feelings for me. Went out with her for 3 months, and I cut it off with her. And when I did that, she cried in front of me. I mean, of course she would cry because she's getting dumped and stuff like that. And so I felt really shitty because it was like I went out with her despite the fact that I did not have feelings for her. My second girlfriend, I was a first year in college, and she was still in high school. I think she was a junior. So this was before I turned 18, because I graduated when I was 17. Funny story about how we met was I met her when she was going out with one of my classmates, and during that time that they were going out, it was prom season, and for some reason he did not ask her to prom. He asked a different girl, and so I was like, the hell, why didn't he ask you? So I talked to her and stuff like that, and then from there, like, small topics came up, and one of the memorable topics I remembered was talking about her laptop, because she said her sister broke the screen of her laptop after her sister got mad at her. So I was like, hey, I have computer knowledge. I don't mind fixing it for you. But then from there, it was just late night call, and then eventually she confessed to me, and I actually had feelings for her. So I said, yeah. I went out with her, and it was all good. Things were nice until she cheated on me. And this happened around Valentine's Day. So what happened was there was a dance that was happening for the weekend of Valentine's, and she asked if she could go with her friends, and I said, yeah, go for it. I had to hear it from my coworker, who is also a friend. I heard from her that my girlfriend ended up dancing with the guy, and they left the dance together. So I was like, oh. And that same day, I get a call from her saying that we should break up. So that's what happened. And my last ex is the Arizona one, and she's actually my ex-fiance. So I was engaged to her, and I'm glad that things didn't work out between us because it got very toxic. It wasn't just her side, it was also, my side. Yeah, it was just really bad because I ended up ghosting all my friends because she was not comfortable with any of my friends. She didn't like the guys, and she did not like it when I talked to my female friends. So I ended up ghosting them for, I would say, 4 years before the breakup happened. And then that's when I came back and apologized for being gone for so long and told them the reason. Yeah.
Okay. So, specific questions with your relationships. So, the first one, you mentioned that you didn't like her, but you got together. What made you decide to break it off like 3 months later, if you could recall?
I just didn't have feelings for her, even after the 3 months. Like, during the time that we were dating, there was nothing on my side, so I felt like a big asshole for kind of playing her and stuff like that. But we didn't do anything, like, in a sense. The only thing we did was just kiss. That's all. Like, there was nothing after, like, second base and stuff like that. Or I don't know. Nothing. Yeah. So yeah, I just didn't have feelings for her.
And you never like talked to her friend, the one that you were actually interested in?
No.
Ever since then? Okay.
Like, my friend group is friends with their friend group, and things just got really messy. A lot of drama happened, and I was like, I don't want to deal with drama, so I just left. Yeah.
And for the second one, you said you met around the time where she was going to her prom, or like during her prom season?
It was my senior year, so prom season for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how long did this relationship last for? Since it was Valentine's, right? So, was it almost a year?
It's like 6 months, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, around like 6 months.
Yeah, so that was like your first heartbreak experience. You didn't see any of that coming. She just broke up with you after cheating.
Yeah, and what was worse was I was starting my shift when I got that call, so I had to like push through and pretend I'm not sad and just put on a smiley face, the hey, what's up type of face. Yeah, but that was like the hardest that I actually had to pretend like I'm happy, because there's a lot of things that can set me off and put me in this state of like sadness or depression, and I'm normally the type that just puts on a front so that people don't know that I'm not happy or anything, because I'd rather see everyone have a good time than put them into a gloomy state because I'm not happy. So that's just the type of person I am. And that breakup, I did end up cutting myself for the first time, and thinking that everything was my fault. Like, I thought I wasn't good enough. And now that I think about it, it's like, no, I was good enough. She just chose some guy who ended up playing her over someone that could have potentially been, a better boyfriend.
Mhm.
But you live and you learn. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
each person that you meet is either a lesson or they end up staying in your life.
Okay, so getting that phone call,
Mhm.
that was it. You never spoke to her after that.
We did meet up at one point, but that was when I was with my ex-fiance. So when my ex-fiance and I came down to California to visit like friends and stuff, and my brother, what happened was my brother said, "Hey, let's go get boba." We went to a boba shop, and my ex happened to walk in, and I was like, awkward.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I really hated her guts during that time, so I really wanted to just walk out and not say anything. But because my brother was there and my ex-fiance is there, I would rather put up a front and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" type of thing, than be a complete asshole. So I ended up doing that, and she ended up getting mad at me for saying hi and giving her a hug, even though she knew that I hated her guts during that time. Not everyone can be on the same page at all times, so I don't
Wait,
blame her for getting mad at me.
told you that afterwards or on the spot?
Oh no, like afterwards.
Okay,
Yeah, when we were one-on-one.
got it.
So I was like, can't really blame her for reasoning to get mad.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
And your ex-fiance, so how long was that relationship?
5.5 years. So we ended things right when Arizona went into quarantine. So the day that the state went into shutdown, like lockdown, shutdown, my brain's not working right now, went into lockdown, was the same day we ended up breaking up. And it was, in a sense, a mutual breakup, because when she brought it up, I was like, okay, we should do it. Why not? Because then there was like a lot of arguments back and forth and stuff like that, and a lot of disagreements that would happen. And I think it got to the point where both sides were frustrated at each other. So it's better to just end things than keep it up and then potentially have something terrible happen. Because there was a time where we got into a really heated argument, and she ended up putting her hands on my neck. And I'm not the type to get physical and slap someone or anything. So I just stood there like, "You're really gonna choke me right now? You're really gonna try that on me?" And I would not say it was like an abusive relationship. It was more of like a mentally abusive, not physically abusive, I would say.
Mhm.
Because she's very manipulative. The way that she was raised it taught her how to be like a manipulator and stuff like that. I don't want to like get into details of like how
Yeah.
she was raised and stuff, because you know. But yeah, she knows very well how to get what she wants. And she's the type of person where if she doesn't get what she wants, she will throw a fit. And I've seen it happen with her family members. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, so how long into the relationship was it until you decided to propose? And from that point on, when did you, like, where were the red flags of a toxic relationship? You know? If you're okay answering this.
Oh no, I'm an open book. So, and the proposal happened half a year after we got together.
Okay.
Because I genuinely thought she was the one. And, you know, we were clicking and stuff like that. Red flags came in, I would say, probably half a year after I moved in with her in Arizona. But I chose to ignore the red flags. And things just got worse and worse. Like, I would say I'm a pretty patient guy. But having to ghost everyone that I talked to, I had no one to vent to at the end of the day when I needed it. So my patience kind of ran dry and I would blow up at like the smallest things. So that was basically one of the main reasons why it didn't work out. The other reason is because sometimes I enjoy my own time to myself. You know, I want to do my own hobbies, but I end up sacrificing my time to spend it with her. And I wouldn't say anything because I guess you could call me a pushover, you know, or a shrimp. It's just, oh, hey, let's go to the mall. Like I'm building a model kit. Oh, okay, here. And I just go do whatever she wants. Or if she's like, hey, let's play a video game. Yeah, okay. Drop everything, play video game. Or if I'm like on the phone with the Gundam community, because I used to run an Instagram page for Gundam, and I made some friends there, and those were the friends that she was okay with. But like, if I'm on the phone with them, and she'd be like, "Hey, let's go do this," I'll be like, "Okay, hey, sorry guys, I gotta go. Peace out." Just hang up. But that was something that ended the relationship because it got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to set a schedule for when I can do my own things and when I'm gonna be doing things with you, type of thing. And she didn't like that. And it ended up with me not doing Gundam content creation anymore because I needed time to like think about how I'm gonna do everything and think about, okay, what am I gonna do to better myself, to become a better version of myself after the breakup and stuff. And so that's exactly what I did. And I'm actually very happy that I did that because if I didn't do it, I don't know how I would be right now in this moment.
Okay. So, with all that being said about your relationship experiences, what advice would you give to those in relationships or just general relationship advice?
Uh, First of all, don't get into a relationship without loving yourself first. You need to know how you need to have self-value. You know, value yourself, know what you're worth before getting into a relationship. And if you're getting into a relationship, make sure that there's boundaries, regardless of how long you've known your significant other or the person that you're trying to, you know, get into a relationship with. Because if there's no boundaries, so many things can go wrong. And I'm pretty sure nobody wants that. So just let them know, hey, here are my boundaries. What are your boundaries? And try not to, cross each other's boundaries and stuff like that. Make sure that you're communicating with each other, because communication is very, very important. A lot of arguments stem from miscommunication. So having that communication will solve a lot of potential issues that may occur. My advice, which I believe is good advice, but some people may not find this as good advice, is don't talk to your exes. Because I believe if you're still talking to your ex, someone still has feelings deep down. So I would recommend staying away from that, because that is exactly what happened to me. So not me like talking to my ex, but one of my exes talking to their exes, stuff like that. So yeah. Lastly, for those that may be in a potential long distance relationship or are in long distance relationships, make sure there's effort on both sides. It has to be equal amount. It can't be like, oh, you're giving it 75 and you're giving it 25, because long distance is very difficult. It takes two to tango in this case. But for this one, you need to just make sure that you're giving each other the same amount of attention. Don't focus on something else as you're trying to focus on them. Like, if you're going to give them attention, give it to them 100%. That's pretty much my advice. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Alright, yeah. Finishing up the topic about relationships, what would you say your general type is?
Type as in...
Could be characteristics, features, whatever.
This is a good question. I would say I look more for personality. Like someone with a good personality, someone who can be cute but serious at the same time. Someone who's not extremely clingy, because I can't deal with clingy people, especially if I'm gonna be like working and stuff like that. Like, if I do get the job as a police officer, I can't have like 24/7 phone conversations like, oh hey babe, what's up? Oh yeah, I'm on the job. Hold on. Officer's getting shot. Oh, hold on. I can't do that. So they just need to understand that I have my time, they have their time, and our time together is very important and valuable. So other than that, I look for someone who is very mature in mindset. Like, they're not a child. Like, yeah, we're all child at heart, but at the end of the day, I want someone that that can understand the reasoning behind certain things without having to, explode and stuff like that. I would say features wise, as long as they have a nice smile, I'm into that. A nice smile, beautiful eyes, like the eyes and the smile. first things I notice in a person. But yeah.
Thank you for that. Alright, switching gears. How are you doing mentally right now? Mental health.
My mental health. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best. It's not good, because I am constantly stressed out about bills and constantly stressed out about a lot of different things. And not only that, like just being in a very negative environment takes a toll on the mental state. So yeah, like, I'm just gonna be honest here, like, and there were times I contemplated suicide, and the first time I admitted it, that I was thinking about offing myself, was in Annie's stream when she did Anonymous Confessions. And I went there and I basically said, you know, I'm thinking about committing suicide and stuff like that. But the first person I told was Fred. And he basically helped me a lot to get out of that dark mindset. And then what really got me out of the mindset was just watching everyone's streams, like just being in your stream, you know, being in Annie's stream and a few other of my friends' stream, and then finally hanging out again at Countdown. That got me out of the mindset of, you know, wanting to just drop everything and end everything. So it's getting better, but at the same time, the dark thoughts, they do creep in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that it's a constant battle, because you can definitely feel at your lowest points. Even though you're going through it, what advice would you give to others to keep pushing through or have ways to pull themselves out?
My advice is to always have someone that you can trust to talk to, because it's hard not having anyone to talk to about in regards to these deep dark thoughts. And dealing with all these dark thoughts is really, really hard. It's not going to be easy, like just, you know, saying, hey, I'm having thoughts about suicide, because it's not easy. You know, you might talk to someone about it and they might be hella judgmental, and they might like stab you in the back or spread rumors. So I recommend finding someone that you trust 100% that won't do any of that, and talk to them. I know there's some streamers that do like mental health streams. Like I know Aloha Kai, he does it every now and then. You know, you can go into a stream, and if they have like an anonymous confessions like form, fill it out, you know, and just let everything that's inside of you out in there. Speaking of that, I actually started doing that, and it felt really nice being able to open up what I was thinking to, you know, whoever is in chat. And it's nice that there are people who do open up about what's on their mind, and knowing that it helped them like feel a lot better about themselves and like the situation, it makes me happy. But yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, if you need professional help, I highly recommend getting professional help, because that will potentially, you know, it it might not. It just depends person to person, but getting professional help is another way. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. The advice too. Okay, so talk about how COVID has affected you personally or impacted your life.
I honestly don't know how to answer this one because I feel like I'm the same person. Because as much as I enjoy my time at home, I also enjoy my time out. And even when COVID was like going around at the beginning, I would still be doing trips. Like I did a road trip to the 7 Magic Mountains, and then to the Grand Canyon, and then back to Arizona. So I did that. I did a road trip down to meet up with my friends here when I still lived in Arizona, and we did a hike. It honestly didn't really affect me. Like, yeah, I had a COVID scare around that time because my ex-fiance caught COVID, and thank God I was not there, even though I was like there before she got it, but I tested negative and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm still the same person. Nothing's changed. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's scary, but at the end of the day, I'm the type of person that's just like, you want to live once, might as well do whatever you can, enjoy your life.
Okay. So, as of now, what are your goals and aspirations in life?
I would say my goal is just to finally find a stable career, because I've been jumping from job to job and I haven't really found a career path that I enjoy. That's why I'm literally debating on joining my local law enforcement, because that was something that I did in high school. I did a ROP program for law enforcement and I genuinely enjoyed it. So I'll be applying, and if I do get in, I can see that as the career that I will be going down. What was the other one? You said goals and aspiration?
Yeah, any other goals maybe?
I guess like my final goal is just be able to move out of this negative environment. Like once I'm out, I would be a lot happier with a better state of mind. Yeah.
So you briefly talked about some of your traveling experiences, like the road trips, Grand Canyon, right? 7 Magic Mountains. Yeah, all over LA and Arizona, I'm sure. What other travels have you done so far?
I have been to Vancouver once, but this was back in 2016, I believe, or 2017. The furthest east I've gone is Missouri for my former best friend's basic training graduation from the army. Other than that, you know, just the typical Vegas trips, Hawaii and stuff like that. So yeah, other than that, I would say the place that I would love to go to is Japan. I just like the environment, you know. It just looks so relaxing in the pictures that I just have to see it in person. And not only that, I just want to try all the food there too, because I'm a big foodie. So definitely, if I do go to Japan, I want to try pufferfish. Even though it's dangerous, but yeah, pufferfish. Yep.
Hey, so that was travel and adventure talk.
Hmm.
You still good? Do you need a break?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Let's talk about social media.
All right.
Oh, aside from Twitch, what other platforms are you currently active on?
I'm pretty active on Instagram, to be honest. Like, I think that's the most active social media platform that I'm on, other than Discord. Um, I'm also kind of active on Twitter, and then the least active is TikTok. Even though I should be using TikTok to post some uh like voice acting type of stuff, like the content. But Instagram wise, I'm more active because I've been using Instagram for a while now, and having ran a page that had a lot of followers, I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, I know exactly what to do to bring in a larger following, but I just choose not to because there's really no point in me focusing on the numbers at this point if I'm just trying to relax and, I guess, make friends. Well, yeah, making friends is definitely one of them, but yeah, there's no point in trying to figure out, oh, is this the time to post the content? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, how many likes am I gonna get? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Discord wise, I would say I'm fairly active in only a few selected servers. I think I'm already in too many servers, so I don't even know how to manage all of them. But yeah.
And I know that you recently started editing, so how's that going? Got your Valorant edits.
That is pretty fun. Like, I used to edit videos for my YouTube content when I did Gundam and stuff like that, but those were basic edits. This edit was the first time I did something that was outside of my comfort zone, trying to figure out what effects to use and stuff like that. So it was pretty fun, and I think I'm gonna be doing more of those, even though it took me 2 hours for those 22 minutes.
Seconds, right?
Oh yeah, 22 seconds. My brain's not
It's okay.
pea brain, you know.
Okay, big topic. Let's talk about Twitch.
All right.
Talk about how you got into Twitch and what made you decide to start streaming.
So the first time I was on Twitch was because I was inspired by the streamer formerly known as Angels Kimmy, who is now known as Plushies. She's the reason why I decided to start streaming, and this was back in 2015. No. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, you're fine. Momoki, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the follow. How's it going? Andy, have you seen yourself? You're cute. Gonna take a momentary short break. How's it going, Momoki? Thank you so much for dropping by. Just doing a podcast right now. I'll tab on Nathan. I did. I saw what Nathan's doing. His nice looking bathing suit.
Bathing suit? What?
Oh, sorry, we were talking about Nathan. He's doing the hot tub stream.
Oh,
Yeah, and he has a bathing suit.
bathing suit. Nice, nice.
Okay, you good?
Yeah, all good, all good. What were we talking about?
Your introduction
Twitch.
to Twitch, yeah.
Twitch. Yeah, so it was Angel's Kimmy that got me into streaming, and then my first stream was actually on another Twitch account under the name of J Hoster. And I don't remember when I made that account, but I remember streaming on it for a good 2 months. And I was mainly playing Left 4 Dead 2 and Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 was where I was popping off and actually did multiple 24-hour streams in a span of a month. So I think it was like 6, maybe 7 24-hour streams in that entire month, purely playing Team Fortress 2 and nothing else. And I met a lot of amazing people there, but because I ended up not streaming anymore because of an argument between my ex-fiance and I, that I just decided to stop. And it wasn't until after the breakup where I matched with someone on Kippo, the gamers dating app, where she basically got me back into streaming. And that's when I created this Twitch account, Heine1004. And my first stream on the account was actually New Year's Eve, believe it or not. So it's already been a whole year since I streamed, but because, countdown, that I didn't do like the whole 1 year anniversary stream and stuff like that. And I guess for me, like, streaming is just a hobby. I'm not trying to, not entirely trying to make it a full-time thing where I can make money off that, because I know the odds of that happening is very slim. You're like taking a gamble type of thing. So and in regards to like the reason why I stream, I honestly enjoy sharing content and gameplay with whoever is watching. So that's just basically the goals of like my stream. Like, if you guys are enjoying the vibes, cool, stick around and we chat it up. If not, it's okay to leave. And I understand not everyone likes the same things and stuff, so yeah.
Okay. With that being said, what is your current schedule and what categories have you been streaming?
I honestly don't have a schedule. Reason being is because my schedule, like life schedule, is pretty hectic. I don't know what will happen in the next like hour or so, so that's why I don't have a set schedule. But when I do stream, I would say I normally stream Osu because it's very relaxing for me to play and listen to music at the same time. So Osu is definitely the main game that I stream. from time to time I'll do Valorant, but the reason why I don't stream Valorant a lot is because I get burnt out by the game, whether it be from constant losses to toxic people. And other than that, just chatting. I've been dabbling in that, and I know it's pretty fun, but at the same time, it's like if there's no one to talk to, you're just kind of sitting there, like twiddling your thumbs, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I did learn from watching a few people's streams that it's okay to use other people as content, so I've been doing that.
Okay. So, why a VTuber, and how'd you come up with your name?
Good question. So the reason why I ended up being a VTuber is because I would get lazy to prep myself. So normally, if I'm streaming without my VTuber model, I'm completely shaven. I look nice. I'm presentable. Like how I am right now, I'm presentable. But majority of the time, I have facial hair. I have a full face if I don't shave. So that's why I'm like, VTuber model, they don't know what I look like if I use it. I can look, honestly, I can be, shirtless, and they won't know that I'm shirtless.
Mm.
So that's why I'm like, VTubers is the way to go. And not only that, I feel more confident being a VTuber. So it's like a confidence boost, because I've seen enough streamers where they're streaming and some random troll comes into chat and says, "Wow, you're so ugly," and that will destroy a streamer's confidence. Any negativity will destroy the confidence if they're not like mentally strong enough to take it, So that's why I went VTuber out. Plus, you can customize how you look too. You can't do that in real life, like to the fullest extent. Like if you want red eyes, you just change up the VTuber's eye color. It's red. If you want green eyes, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But IRL contacts, but it's not there forever. You have to take it out, and then anytime you want it again, put it back in. Kind of a hassle, So, yeah.
Okay, and your name?
Name. So, one of my favorite anime characters from Gundam Seed Destiny, his name was Heine1004. And I just thought, you know what? I'll take his name. And then I thought of 1004, which is Chongsa. It sounds like angel in Korean, so I put that in there. Hence, Heine1004. And it makes a lot of sense because the character Heine, he ended up dying in the series, so he's an angel now. Yeah.
Okay, and what about Fishy?
Wait, how do you know about that one?
Your social media?
Oh, okay. Funny story.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I played Among Us for the first time with the girl I met on Kippo, and her friends on Discord, I put myself as Fishy, and what happened was someone was like, "Hey, Orange is sus," and they would say Fishy is sus, and I would respond with, I know I'm Fishy, but I'm not sus. So that's why Fishy.
Okay.
And originally, I wanted it as my Twitch name, but someone already has the name Fishy, so yeah, couldn't use it, unfortunately.
Okay, so talk about the day ones on Twitch that are still here, or that you're still in contact with.
Day ones, let's see. I don't really have any day ones that come back, unfortunately, because they're my IRL friends.
Oh, okay.
So they're doing their own things, and it makes sense. So, it's all right. But I'm in contact with a few of the streamers that like I first modded for, or the streamers that would come into my chat and stuff like that, like members of Ohana. I'm in contact with them still, because when I got affiliated was because of a member in Ohana, and that's when I got to meet everyone else. Yeah, but other than that, it's like day ones, they're doing their own thing, and I respect that.
Yeah. Okay. So, talk about your Twitch meetups, your Twitch meetup experiences.
I've never held one, but I've been to Twitch meetups. So the first Twitch meetup I went to, it was like a small group of Ohana. It was probably like 4 or 5 people in Ohana meeting up, but then there was like a larger group of people that were on Twitch meeting up with someone in Ohana. So it went from a tiny group to a large group, and we were able to connect with each other and get to know each other. So that was pretty cool. Then there was the Ohana Meetup, which a lot of things happened. I don't want to get into detail about like the things, but at the end of the day, it was fun finally meeting the people that were in Ohana. Just getting to know them in real life and stuff, and hanging out finally. The next meetup was like a really tiny one. It was at Head in the Clouds, and I did not expect to meet certain people at Head in the Clouds. So one of the people that I had met up with at Head in the Clouds is Sophia. I forgot her Twitch handle. But yeah, I met her, and then because of her, I met other streamers like the Gritties, Sup Caitlin, and a few others. I can't think of their names at the moment for some reason, but yeah. And then of course the famous Wilson's meetups. Those were the best. I absolutely enjoyed it. More meetups, Wilson? Yeah.
Yep, of course. Favorite memory on Twitch?
Favorite memory on Twitch? I would say when I was playing Among Us with mods, and they wanted to accuse me of being the imposter, even though I was, but somehow I juked the sheriff, and he ended up killing someone. Well, he ended up attempting to kill someone, but he killed himself because he didn't kill the imposter. A little backstory for that is with the mod, it's called the sheriff mod. If you're the sheriff, you can kill an imposter the way the imposter kills the crewmates and stuff, but as a sheriff, if you kill a crewmate, you die. So that's basically what was going on. And I was just like moving back and forth really fast. And he ended up, I don't know how, he ended up killing himself because he killed someone else, even though I was right next to him, just moving side to side. So that was pretty funny. And everyone was like, okay, Fishy is cleared. And I'm just there laughing. Yeah.
Okay, talk about the pros and cons of Twitch.
Ooh, all right. The pros on Twitch, like being on Twitch, is like, you can meet a lot of new people. It's a lot easier to connect with people that play games compared to trying to connect with someone, let's say, outside of your work or maybe at school. Not only that, being on Twitch, it's almost like a relaxing place to be after a long day of whatever it may be it work, be it school, you know? So you can kick back, relax, you know, you can stream, or you can be in chat and just be a chatter. Cons, though, there's a lot of trolls, and trolls are, I mean, some trolls are really cool and nice. They, you know, when you get to know them, but the trolls that are absolutely dirtbags, that's definitely a con. The way that Twitch handles certain things is a con, I would say. And then honestly, I feel like that's pretty much all I have to say for Twitch in terms of like the cons, because I know there's a lot more bad things I can say. It's just I can't think of them.
Okay. Yeah, so speaking about trolls, what encounters have you had with trolls and hate, and how did you handle the situation?
So anytime I encountered a troll was when I was a mod. The first time I encountered one, this mod was being very mod. Oh my god, I think I need coffee. This troll was being very sexual in a sense, and with me being a mod, knowing that the streamer is uncomfortable with stuff like that, I instantly banned them. And that's just the type of mod that I am. If I find something that's to me out of pocket, it's an instant ban. I will not tolerate anything in terms of stuff like racially, anything that deals with like trying to put a person down and stuff like that. Unless if it's like someone I know, like, okay, then they're trolling around, having fun. But if it's a random person coming into stream saying, hey, you're ugly, or you need to do better, stuff like that, instant ban. They don't have a chance. Yesterday there was actually a person in Annie's stream that I ended up banning, but I was just trying to see how the person is, because their first message was, I get banned in a lot of streamers, like streams. So I was like, I want to see why. And I found out why. Because this person was basically, I guess in a sense, being the devil's advocate. He would say things that are, what's that word? Where the meaning is like, you believe in something that's not of the norm. I forgot that word. But yeah, like I was just, messaging in the chat, like just talking straight to him, trying to get a feel of the person, and eventually he said something that triggered me, and I was like, nope, instantly you're gone. But yeah, Robin knows because he ended up DMing me saying, hey, this guy is weird, and I'm like, yeah, he is weird. We're just trying to get a feel of this dude. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so any trolls that wanna test me, you can try.
Got
You'll
it.
get, yeah.
Okay, so with the extent of knowledge that you have on Twitch, what advice would you give to streamers that are just trying to get started or are trying to grow?
I feel like this one is for everyone in general. Don't focus on view count. Don't focus on the numbers, because if you focus too much on that, your mental health, stability is gonna tank, because you're gonna one day you'll see like, oh, I have 30 people on my stream right now, and then next day if you only have 5, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why do I only have 5 people? I'm pretty sure a lot of other people said this, but network around, get to know people in chat as well as the streamer. I know, from time to time, the streamer won't communicate with their chat as often, but at the end of the day, do your best, get to know people, and just put yourself out there. Lastly, I would say stream whatever you want to stream. Don't let someone tell you what to stream, because it's your content, it's not theirs. And if they're trying to tell you what to stream or what to do, the best response is, I'm not doing this. If you want to do it, then go do it. That's you. That's not me. But yeah.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about the difference in experiences of being a guy and girl streamer?
Ooh, the difference. I would say being a girl streamer is a lot more difficult than being a guy streamer. Reason being is because being a girl streamer, you have a lot of weirdos that come in to chat, and sometimes it could be a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. I mean, it's a good thing if they're not too weird and they're just donating money or gifting subs, but it's only weird when they're constantly trying to get at you, or just trying to get in your pants in a sense. But yeah, that's definitely one of the main reasons why I think being a female streamer is hard, because you have to deal with people like that. And then not only that, also the people that come into chat saying hey, you should stop streaming because you're ugly, or hey, you should stop streaming because you suck at games, and stuff like that. Being a guy streamer though, it's you need to have the personality, I would say, if you want to get somewhere. Looks is one thing, but if you have the personality, that's where it's at. You can look average but have a 10 out of 10 personality, and you'll shoot through the top. But I know one of the things is that it is a lot harder for guys to gain traction, unless if it's you're doing amazing in a game, you're the top of the leaderboard and stuff like that. But there is one more part about streaming, and that a lot of people don't tend to talk about a lot, is the VTuber aspect. The male VTuber aspect can get a lot more shrimps based off of their voice. Female VTuber based off their voice and the way their VTuber model looks. So that's just something that I wanted to throw out there. Because most of the time, you know, from what I've seen, female VTubers, they got huge mommy milkers on them. And there's a lot of guys, especially the guys that like anime, they're like, ooh, mommy milkers, you know, I'm gonna go in just to see those every day, type of thing. For the male part, I honestly believe it's based off of voice and personality in terms of VTubers. So, yeah.
Nice to hear your insight. Okay, so next up, specific people to mention. What was your first impression of Annie, and how did you end up being her mod?
All right. The first impression of Annie. The way I met her was through my recommended page. And I was like, all right, I'm going to look at the people that's recommended. Ooh, okay. Click. She's pretty cute. She got a personality. All right, you know, I vibe with that. Just chat it up. From there, the way I became a mod is a little interesting. It was for her subathon, and she had mod applications. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna sign up. The day, I think it was like the day before or the day of the subathon, when she was announcing the new mods that were gonna, you know, help her, first thing she said was, I'm not gonna mod any streamers. And instantly I was like, the first thing I typed, well, I'm not gonna be a mod because I'm a streamer. See you guys. And what was funnier was the fact that Annie said me first. And I was like, wait, hold on. You just said you weren't gonna mod a streamer, and yet you're modding me. So that's literally how I became mod. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so that was your first impression, but what do you think about her now?
Now? She's a duck. She quacks a lot. But she's an amazing streamer, and her content's hilarious from time to time. Especially when she quacks. Like she's like, quack. I have to say her RR needs a little bit of working. So, I mean, last night we were trying to get her to do a better RR. Like, I was like, you have to do it like ara ara and not ara ara, you know. But that didn't work. So, Annie, if you are in chat, we need to work on that. All right.
Next up, your first impression and current thoughts about Fred.
Fred. First impression. I would say the first impression I have of him is, who is this cutie? Like, I don't even know him, but damn, he cute. Now it's like, what up, daddy? That's all I can say. He's a really good friend, though. Very good friend, very good listener as well. Very caring.
Got it. This one's like a really random Really random one. One word to say about this person. Bandy.
Cute.
Spot on.
Yep. Because Bandy is a cutie.
Okay. So, your thoughts about having a Twitch crush?
Oh boy. Alright. Twitch crush. I mean, it's not the first time I had a Twitch crush. I do have one right now. I'm not gonna say who, but I think having a Twitch crush is very interesting because it could become a thing. Like, you and your Twitch crush could become an item, or or it might not, you know. But I would say it's like having a crush in like school and stuff like that. So yeah. But yes, I do have a Twitch crush, and you know who it is, Wilson.
Yep. Not talking about it. All right.
We're not talking about it.
So, in your opinion, let's just hear your thoughts, right? We have large streamers, you know, big names. There's a lot. There's small streamers. What would you consider as mid-level?
I would say mid-level is like partnered. Like when you first get to partnered, because you're still averaging like 75 plus viewers, but you're not at the level where you're averaging like a few thousand every stream. So that's like mid-tier. Yeah, that's basically where I would put mid-tier at. And I know a lot of people have said the same thing, like right when you get partnered, mid-tier.
Yeah.
Unless if your name is Wilson. Wilson Chang is famous.
This guy. All right. My last Twitch question. I think you know where this is going.
Oh boy.
Hold on. Let me get my poker face right here.
Oh, I need to see this. Your poker face.
I'm just kidding. What'd you have for breakfast today?
Nothing. I haven't eaten. I woke up at 3 and I just got on Val. So once, I would say around 10 is when I'll eat, if anything. Yeah. Wait, that doesn't sound like a Twitch question. What in the world? Hello?
I got caught. Anyways. So how does it feel to be famous?
I think you mean how does it feel to be infamous? Because I'm only infamous for my voice. But you're the famous one, Wilson.
See, backfired. Got it. Let me note that. Man's trolling.
Am I really?
All right. Let's talk about Valorant briefly.
All right.
Favorite agent and least favorite.
I love KO because his utils are basically very similar to when you play CS:GO. You're forced to like toss like your flashes, like you do a flashbang. You're forced to toss your nade, like a grenade and stuff like that. So that's my favorite. Least favorite, I would say, for me to go up against is Breach. I just hate that his util is just spammed and then he just shows up and kills you. So, fuck Breach.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How about best agent in the game and worst? So not like your own favorites.
Oh, okay. I would say the best agent is Sky. Reason being is because she has healing capabilities. She has a flash that lets you know if you blinded anyone. And she can also scout around with her dog. So that's why I think she's the best agent. The worst agent, I think this can be like 3 out of 3 Yoru. Because what do you really do with Yoru? You know, you get information and you need a TP back, or you get information, you come out of that ult and just kill people. That's pretty much it. Like, I feel like with anytime I go against Yoru, I'm pretty confident that I can kill him. That's why I think Yoru is. I'm sorry, Yoru remains, but I don't think Yoru's the best. He's the worst.
Okay. Best gun in the game and worst.
Best gun, Stinger. You heard it from me, Stinger. Worst gun. I really hate the Ares, so the worst gun, Ares. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite skin bundle.
Recon. The Recon is my favorite. A little story about that. I bought the Z set and I regret it because I don't even use it. So just chilling there. But the Recon is my favorite because it's a gun with a flashlight add-on or a laser sight add-on. That looks hella cool. So, yeah.
Alright, and rank your maps from favorite to least.
My favorite is Ascent because I have really weird knife lineups for that map. So Ascent is definitely one of them. My second favorite would probably be Haven. Third would be Icebox. Fourth, Blit. Fifth, Breeze. And lastly, Fracture. Fuck, Fracture.
Wait, where did you put Bind?
Oh, fuck. Bind is right above Fracture.
Okay.
Because that map gave me PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
All thanks to Dreamy Kev. Love you, baby.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. Now, it all comes down to the final few random questions. And at this point, if anyone in chat has a question for Hein, feel free to ask away and I will read the questions to him. So, let's start with your biggest pet peeve.
Biggest pet peeve. I would say I have quite a few. Chewing loudly is definitely one of them. Like when you're chewing and you can hear the smacking sound. Yeah, I will do that right in your face and make sure that my food is like coming out of my mouth as I'm doing that, so that you understand not to do it. Another one is slow drivers. If you're not driving speed limit, please get out of my way. I got places to be. So, yeah. Another pet peeve, I would say people who don't return the carts to the cart stations. Because it's like, bro, just push the cart there and return it. It's that simple, so that other people can have a parking spot instead of leaving it in the middle parking spot and potentially scratching a car, you know? So yeah, I say those are like the main ones for me.
Okay. Greatest fear.
I have two things I'm scared of: spiders, or eight-legged creatures, and falling. So, like roller coasters, I absolutely hate, because I did go on a roller coaster a few years ago and I got off crying. This is a grown man crying getting off a roller coaster. So yeah, never going on a roller coaster. So if you all wanna take me to an amusement park and y'all have kids, let me know. I'll take care of your kids and hold your stuff. You guys go have fun.
Okay, so from Kushi, where in the world would you want to retire?
Japan. Japan is where I would love to retire at. I just love the Japanese culture and just being able to see beautiful scenery. I'm set, you know. That's where I'll be.
What is your best trait or characteristic?
My best trait or characteristic, I would say just being there for people, whether it be the people close to me or just random strangers. Because I'm the type of person that makes sure that, you know, people are okay. Because life is hard. You don't know what everyone's going through. So at the end of the day, if you can make someone's day just by asking them, hey, how are you doing? Or are you okay? Can definitely help them in the long run. Because what if they're not okay? You know, if you ask them, hey, are you okay? And then they want to open up, it's like taking a load off their shoulders. So I think that's my, I would say that's definitely one thing about me that I like.
What do you consider as your greatest accomplishment in life and your greatest failure or regret?
Greatest accomplishment. I would say becoming the person that I am today through trial and error and not losing who I am as a person. Because most of us have gone through a phase where we lose ourselves trying to fit in with people. So for me, finding myself and knowing who I am as a person and knowing what I like and what I don't like is an accomplishment for me. My greatest failure would have to be I would say being too trusting as a person. Yeah, because sometimes I trust too easily, and the next thing I know, I'm getting walked all over and taken advantage of. So yeah. It's happened multiple times, so it is what it is. Just gotta learn from the past. But yeah.
Question from Angel. Do you miss going back to Taiwan? Or, like, do you miss it? And do you want to just go back?
I really do miss it because I love the food there. You know, not being able to get authentic stinky tofu or like authentic Taiwanese food in general, it's kind of sad because it's hard finding authentic food here in the States. Not only that, I miss the nightlife basically because I'm the type that goes to like the entertainment district and just play the games, you know, shooting hoops and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. So, last few questions for me. What was your first impression of me?
First impression of the famous Wilson Chang. Let's see. I remember the first time I was in your chat and the second time. First time was because Annie rated you, and first thing I said, because the first thing I noticed was all the posters in the background. So I was like, dude, I really love your posters. And I said the same thing again the second time I came around. And honestly, my first impression of you is, you know, this guy's a cool dude. You know, I can see he likes anime. And then after getting to know you, you're very down to earth of a person. You're very easygoing, and it also seems like you know, like you're a very decisive person, not compared to like me. I can be very indecisive, but yeah, like you know what you want, and but you're still down to find a middle ground so that everyone can get a little bit of what they want as well.
Oh, thank you for that. Really interesting to hear. Okay. Top 5 streamers that you find yourself watching nowadays. Doesn't have to be in specific order.
Well, Annie is definitely one of them because I mod for her, and I'm always in your stream as well. There are times where I am in Aloha Kai's stream, and whether I'm lurking or if I'm active in chat, I'll have a stream up. I would say I know the other person I had stream up for the longest time was Umami, because he was doing that super long stream. So I was like, I need to support this man. So I had to stream up for a really long time. Last but not least, I would say Sarah, Mew Melodies. But yeah, like anytime she streams, I'll be there to support.
Gotcha.
But most of the time I support everyone that streams, so I'll have like a bunch of tabs open, all Twitch. It's like, okay. Yeah, those are my top 5.
Okay, and now, using your connection, who would you like to see on this podcast as a special guest in the future, and why?
Oh, you already know. It's Annie. I want to see her on here. Because, I guess in a sense, as a mod, I don't really entirely know her side of the story and stuff like that, so I want to get to know the streamer that I mod for. So, of course, Annie.
Well, I have good news. He's going to be a guest next week.
Oh, hell yeah. Alright.
Thursday, I believe.
Alrighty. That is definitely good news.
Okay, anything else you want to say or want to talk about? Because that's it for me.
Anything
Final
else?
thoughts.
Did I hear Twitch Prime? Make sure if you have Twitch Prime to use your Twitch Prime on the famous Wilson Chang here.
All right. So I'm gonna close this off for the YouTube portion, and then yeah, after that I'll just let you do your thing. We still have
Alright.
a long night, I'm sure, if you stay up.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the Chang Gang podcast featuring Johnny, aka Heine1004. Thank you so much for, taking the time to be here to talk about your life and experiences. We are just in about over 3 hours. So, do you have any last things to say to everyone that has tuned in?
I just want to thank everyone that tuned in. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Wilson, for hosting the podcast as well. And I hope to see more fellow streamers on your podcast.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Guys, remember, this podcast can be found on YouTube within the next few days. I will definitely have more episodes coming soon, but yeah, this is episode 51. If you haven't already, please drop Hein a follow on Twitch. You could use the !guest command. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I welcome you all to the Chang Gang with open arms. And just know that you guys are truly special. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And that's a wrap. Peace.